United, who totally outclassed them.
Bremner, kicked away by England, now Cooper! Cross! Cooper's available. Foul by Peters. Terry Cooper's tormenting this defence on the left. More and more coming up with the attack. More and more getting through on the outside. Beale, Pratt and Perryman together. That's Charlton! Well, Jack Charlton says he's never been kissed after scoring. But really, if they kissed him then, it wouldn't be surprising.
And I suppose you could argue the most significant match of the whole weekend. Leeds United, already said by some to be on the verge of becoming the greatest club side of all time in England, hotly disputed by a number of their critics, against Arsenal, the reigning champions. And for an extra bonus, of course, this could be a possible rehearsal for the FA Cup final itself. There were 45,000 people at Ellen Road, including Yorkshire television cameras and commentator Keith Macklin. But the afternoon began with a nice warm gesture by Leeds United in honour of Arsenal's winning the double last season.
Show for the benefit of Frank McClintock on the Arsenal side. Billy Bremner presenting Frank McClintock with a tankard inscribed to Frank from all the Leeds United players, commemorating your wonderful achievement last season, and the Ellen Road crowd joining in a very generous round of applause for the Arsenal players. Well, I'm sure Frank McClintock on the Arsenal side will appreciate that, and they're giving a wave to the crowd. That's a nice touch of showmanship from Arsenal too. This is Lorimer. Lorimer going round Nelson. There's a chip, a touch wanted, it's Clark again. There's the goal, a beautifully placed cross by Lorimer, and Alan Clark makes it one. 11 minutes gone, and Peter Lorimer waited, looked up, put it right across the face of the goal, and it's the inevitable sniffer, Clark, who touches it in. Madeley's head, McClintock, Simpson, Cooper reading that all the way. Lorimer's injured in an offside position, he's hurt his back, but that's aimed towards Jones. Jones in on it, and a goal! What a mix from the defence! What an appalling mix from the Arsenal defence! Jones nipped past Nelson and Roberts, with Wilson also standing there for the simplest of goals. And Jones is hurt, but in 34 minutes, what a simple goal! Wilson, Roberts and Nelson all standing leaning it to each other, and Jones in between them for the goal. Armstrong, Bremner's up on that. 1 minute before half time, and Rice brings down Bremner. Giles, as Leeds keep the pressure on all the time on this Arsenal defence. Clark's on the outside, but Lorimer's hit one, and a goal! In off the post! 40 yards, Peter Lorimer, Bob Wilson taken by surprise, and he kept inside the post, and that's 3. 44 minutes, and Leeds giving Arsenal the runaround they gave to Southampton and Manchester United, and it doesn't often happen to Arsenal. Good ball, Lorimer. Clark, Jones! Jones. Gray. And this time Lorimer isn't offside, 1 against 1. 2-0. Bremner, perhaps the most demanding captain in football. There he is. Giles. Giles going through. The angle's too tight. What a good ball. Jones.
Billy Bremner, the Leeds captain. Behind him, David Harvey, the last-minute choice. Paul Reaney, who missed the final 2 years ago with a broken leg. Johnny Giles chewing gum, Norman Hunter. Paul Madeley. Mick Jones, the Leeds striker. Bob McNabb grinning in the background. That's Peter Lorimer. Now Eddie Gray. Mick Bates, the substitute. Alan Clark and Jack Charlton, following his usual superstitious routine, always the last man out. George, beaten by Charlton. Now Madeley. Number 7, Lorimer. Mick Jones out on the right. Number 9. Trying to take on McNabb on the outside. He's round the back. Clark. 1-0. McNabb committed, Jones strong enough to recover, and just watch the way Clark tears under that. An example of the Leeds 1-2. Clark, so unselfish this afternoon in his running, and no wonder the Leeds supporters are celebrating. Jones and Clark, with a near telepathic understanding, two of the best front runners in football. 1-0 to Leeds, 9 minutes of the second half gone. Mick Jones up front, number 9. Playing injury time now, and he's through, and Barnett emerges. McNabb for Arsenal. The referee looks at the watch. The linesman signal. Simpson now for Arsenal. That's ball. The referee receiving help from the Leeds supporters who believe he should blow. It's Simpson for Arsenal. Charlton won it. Lorimer for Leeds, and Leeds have won the cup for the first time in their history. And Don Revie being congratulated first by Bertie V. And Jack Charlton, 37 on Monday, gets one of the few honours he hasn't won in the game. Alan Ball congratulates Billy Bremner with something to carry at Wembley at last. Madeley congratulates him. Alan Clark, the goal scorer. And he, a real influence in this match. And who's down there? Mick Jones injured in the last incident of the match. Totally unselfish in his running. Les Cocker's having a look at him. He collided with Barnett. But he's got the greatest stimulant of all to get him on his feet. Johnny Giles, the Leeds spaceman, number 10. Hunter, perfect in defence at the back. Must surely retain his England place next week. Jack Charlton, clearly so happy. George Graham, probably Arsenal's player of the match. And as we look at Jack Charlton, a word from his brother Bobby.
Well, I'm delighted. It's great for a man of 37 to be able to win a Cup Winners' medal, especially in a great side like this. I think it's tremendous and I'm proud of him.
Jones is one player who won't be joining Billy Bremner as Bremner goes through the Leeds supporters to receive the FA Cup from Her Majesty the Queen. And so, at last, Leeds have got what they've deserved, a major trophy. Jack Charlton receives the winner's medal and also the plinth. Johnny Giles, the architect of so much of the Leeds play. Paul Reaney, who missed the final 2 years ago, who kicked off the line today. Paul Madeley, Norman Hunter, Eddie Gray, David Harvey, who showed Don Revie to be right in picking him. Peter Lorimer and Alan Clark, the goal scorer, and finally the substitute, Mick Bates. But Jones will go into football history here in this centenary final, being helped by Norman Hunter to go up and be officially presented with his medal by Her Majesty the Queen. What a tragedy in the centenary final, and what a moment of emotion. Jones, who laid on the winning goal, receives the congratulations of the Queen. The medal already firmly clutched in the left hand, with the arm damaged. And the Leeds players now waiting to celebrate by taking the FA Cup on its circuit of Wembley. Norman Hunter now joins his colleagues, a journey now that Mick Jones will find impossible to make round the Wembley pitch as Billy Bremner goes on the lap of celebration. The Arsenal players too going round to receive the applause of their supporters. Bremner posing for the traditional cup final shot.
Somehow Billy Bremner found the energy to lead a comeback, but fatigue had taken a huge toll. Cup success had cost Leeds the